Hello everyone and welcome to Boundless Dentistry. In this video we'll talk about the interpretation of one of the most commonly used X-ray in dentistry, that is orthopentamogram. Firstly we'll talk about some basic facts about orthopentamogram, then talking about the machine through which this orthopentamogram is generated, also known as OPG, and then talking about the main objective of this video, that how do we interpret different structures that are visible in an orthopentamogram. So let's get started. Now firstly talking about some basic facts about orthopentamogram, also known as OPG, it generates a panoramic image. You can see in this picture the entire structure surrounding the maxillary and mandibular dental arches along with the supporting structures are visible in this OPG image. You can see this is your mandible, the maxilla, the maxillary teeth, mandibular teeth, and all of the adjacent structures are visible in an OPG. Now there are certain benefits of doing an OPG in a patient, that is it offers broad coverage. You can see how many structures there are visible in this, so broad coverage is offered. Secondly, the radiation dose of OPG is comparatively less as compared to other X-rays that are used in medical sciences. Thirdly, if you can see over here, the structures are easily visible. So for a student or a dental surgeon or even for any person related to dentistry, it's very easy to examine different structures that are visible in this OPG. And finally, in some cases where patients are unable to open their mouth, also known as trismus, this X-ray is very useful because it doesn't require a patient to open their mouth widely. Just a small amount of your mouth should be open so that bite dog can be inserted and the entire OPG is generated. Now moving on towards talking about the machine that generates OPG, and we'll talk about it very briefly. There are basically three parts to this OPG machine. Firstly, you can see this with marked A is the X-ray tube head. Through here the X-ray waves are generated and the OPG is made on the film. Now this structure over here marked with B is the head positioner. It consists of different parts. We have the chin rest, the bite block on which the person's teeth are biting. We have the forehead rest, the lateral head support. These all structures supports the patient's head so that the head is upright and in a proper position and it's not slanting, because if it's slanting the OPG generated will also be slanting and it will be difficult for the practitioner to observe the X-ray properly. And C, you can see over here is the exposure control. Basically you can control the opacity and brightness through here so that properly all structures are visible. Now talking about the main objective of this video, that is how do we interpret different structures that are visible in an OPG. Firstly we'll focus on the hard tissues that are visible in the OPG. So starting from the top, you can see these radiolucencies present bilaterally. These are your nasal fossa. Next, you can see these structures over here that is present, radio opaque structures. This is your hard palate that forms the roof of your mouth and it's also the floor of your nasal cavity. Then you have the inferior orbital canal and foramen. You can see this structure that is present. Next, we have the floor of maxillary sinus. You can see this slight wall that is formed bilaterally. It is also present over here. So this is the floor of the maxillary sinus and it is present close to the apices of the maxillary molars and maxillary premolars. Next, you can see the slight line that is present over here. It is the infratemporal surface of zygomatic bone. Although it cannot be appreciated very brightly, but you can see the slight line that is present. It's not that important as compared to other structures that are visible in this OPG. Next, we have the lateral pterygoid plate, although not that clearly visible, but it is present over here. Next, we have the zygomatic process of the maxilla. You can see this structure. Although these structures are superimposed on each other, but sometimes they are visible clearly and sometimes they are not visible as clearly. This over here is the cervical spine. Because this is a panoramic image, so entire structures are visible as far as possible. Here you can see this is your entire mandible. This is your external oblique ridge. This is the inferior border of the mandible. And then in between the mandibular premolars, close to the apex, we have the mental foramen. Next, Slightly radio opaque structure that is visible, this is the hyoid bone. Then you can see this entire canal that is running in the mandible. This is your inferior alveolar canal, and in this inferior alveolar canal there is the inferior alveolar nerve which supplies all of your mandibular teeth. Next we have the coronoid process. You can see visible over here. Here the temporalis muscle, one of the muscle of mastication, is attached over here. This is your notch that is present, and next to the notch we have the mandibular condyle, and here this is the neck of the mandibular condyle. Again you can see over here this is the zygomatic bone. Just posterior to the mandibular condyle you can see this spherical structure that is visible. This is the external auditory meatus, which is your inside structure of your ear. Just anterior to the mandibular condyle you can see this bulge like structure that is present. This is your articular eminence, and it forms part of the temporomandibular joint. This is your pterygomaxillary fissure, somewhat an inverted teardrop shaped. Next we have this inferior orbital margin. You can see this is the lowermost part of your orbital rim. And finally you can see the maxillary sinus that is present bilaterally. The radiolucencies are present bilaterally, and maxillary sinus is important because especially when you're performing extraction of upper maxillary molars. Now moving our attention towards the part of the OPG that specifically focuses on the mandibular structures. So starting from the top we have the condyle that is visible over here. Just down the condyle you have the neck of the condyle. Then between the coronoid process and the condyle there is this notch, the sigmoid notch. Then this structure you all know well is the ramus of the mandible. Then here running this canal is known as the inferior dental canal, where the inferior alveolar nerve is present. Next we have this angle of mandible. Then this is the body of the mandible. This structure number 9 is the mental foramen. This number 10 is the symphysis menti, and this ridge that is running over here is the external oblique ridge. Although these are some very basic structures, but when you're looking at an OBG, it's very important that you know these basic structures, because when you know this basic anatomy, only then you can interpret different structures and different pathologies such as impacted molars when you're planning surgeries for mandibular molars, because when you know the location of the inferior dental canal, only then you can properly perform the surgeries especially related to mandibular molars, because if the canal is close to the apices of mandibular molars, there are chances that you might damage this nerve. So it is very important to know this basic mandibular anatomy that is visible in an OPG. Now focusing on the mid-facial structure that you can appreciate when you are looking at an OPG, although it's not very clear, but sometimes they are visible. So we'll talk about the mid-facial structures that are visible in OPG. Starting off with this structure, you can see this is your articular tubercle. Then this horizontal ridge-like structure that is running, that is your zygomatic arch. And this structure that is moving towards your zygomatic bone is the zygomatic process of your maxilla. This inverted teardrop-like shaped structure is your pterygomaxillary fissure. And this radio-opaque line that is running, that is your orbital rim, inferior orbital rim particularly. The structure 6 you can see over here, this radio-opaque structure, is your inferior nasal concha. The structure number 7, this vertical running radio-opaque line, is your nasal septum. The most anterior part of the hard palate that is visible is the anterior nasal spine, which you can see over here. Now this somewhat semicircle like structure, radio-opaque line, you can see close to the mandibular molars apices is the floor of the maxillary sinus. So you can see in this picture it is very close, almost embedded in the apices of the maxillary molars. Number 10 is your developing maxillary third molar, which you can very well appreciate over here. Number 11 is your earlobe, which you can see over here, and these are cervical vertebrae which somewhat are visible. So these are the mid-facial structure, although a bit difficult to appreciate, but sometimes they can be appreciated in an OPG. Now talking about some soft tissues that are visible in an OPG, although OPG mainly focuses on the hard tissue, but sometimes the soft tissues are also visible in an OPG. So let's talk about that. Now this structure right over here, NC, is your nasal cavity. Next you can see over here is your nasopharynx that is visible. Just below the nasopharynx we have your oropharynx. Now Here, this GP is your glossopharynx just posterior to the tongue. This spherical structure, like we have discussed before, is your external auditory canal. Now this SP is your soft palate. This P structure is your pinna that is part of your ear, and this PP is a posterior pharyngeal wall. And finally, this E is your epiglottis that is forms a partition between your windpipe and your food pipe. Now, talking about what do we look for in the dentition when we are looking in an OPG, the basic thing that we look for is that we evaluate the teeth and the alveolar bone. Now, what do we evaluate the teeth and alveolar bone for? We look for anomalies of teeth in terms of number, position, and the anatomy of the teeth, because this helps us in determining the different pathology that might be present in a tooth. Next, we also and the OPG is mainly focused also on impacted third molars, because it gives us an idea that how the mandibular third molar or maxillary third molar is impacted, the horizontal impacted, vertically impacted, inverted, and the different directions in which the mandibular or maxillary third molar is impacted, because this gives us an idea that how to perform a surgery. And then we can also appreciate endodontic obturations here, crown and fixed restorations as well. Now finally, talking about the different indications for performing an OPG, like for example when we order the patient to get an OPG done, now what do we keep in mind when we are suggesting the patient to go for an OPG? That is to evaluate if there is any impacted teeth. Then we also evaluate the eruption pattern of teeth, growth and development of teeth, as well as the maxilla and the mandible. In this OPG we can also detect different diseases, for example some lesion, tumor, and with this we can also, if the present, we can also detect their extent, how they are spread in the maxilla or mandible or any part of the OPG that is present. And then finally we also determine the periodontal health of the entire dentition. So this was all about determining and interpreting different parts that are visible in OPG. We started with talking about some basic facts about OPG, then we talked about the OPG and basic parts of an OPG. And then we moved on towards interpreting OPG by talking about firstly the hard tissues that are visible in OPG, the mid-facial structures that can be appreciated in an OPG, and the soft tissues that can be also appreciated in OPG, and what do we look for in terms of dentition and alveolar teeth. And then finally we talked about the different indications for suggesting a patient to go for an OPG. So I hope this video was useful for you, and if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe and press the bell icon. Thank you for watching this video. See you next time.